Welcome in, everybody, for another edition of the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. Tonight is actually the Good Times with the Broadcasters show, as Brant Sherwood is away right now with family. So we have Cole Parenti stepping in, recapping this past weekend's games of the beatdown that the Black Bears put on the Columbus River Dragons on Friday and Saturday night. Also, we're going to hear from Black Bears forward Austin Thompson a little bit later on in the show tonight. Thompson will be inducted into the three-time Tully's Show Guest Hall of Fame. He's also the first member to appear in each of the 3 seasons of the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. So big accomplishment for Austin Thompson right there, and we're talking to him about his play this season on the ice. Apparently he's a big gamer, so we're going to pick his brain a little bit about some video games, what kind of things he likes to do to relax when he's away off the ice. So looking forward to hearing from Austin a little bit later on in the show here tonight. But Cole, Black Bears took care of business, and they are on an all-time heater, as the kids say. They've won 10 games in a row. It is a franchise record. They set a league record for most hat tricks in a game by a single team, and quite frankly, took down one of the top dogs in the Continental Division, all in a span of 48 hours.
Yeah, I think it was one of the defining Binghamton 48 hours that I've seen with the franchise. You have Columbus come in, and many people were disappointed that Binghamton and Columbus didn't get to meet last year. They kind of were waiting to see what that held, and I think Binghamton showed that there's no match right now between them and Columbus. They blow it out of the water, and they did that on Friday and Saturday. It was big wins both nights. The offense was rolling. Both goalies looked good. I feel like the goalies kind of got a little overshadowed by how well the offense played. Connor McAnanima the second night, Nolan Egbert the first night, both were sensational, and I'm sure Coach Sherwood was happy to get the upper hand on his former mentor.
Yeah, so that game was obviously personal for Brant. He played for Coach Jerome Bouchard with some little time with the River Dragons as a player, but also he was the assistant coach for Columbus for a season while the River Dragons won the Ignite Cup the year that the league was on postponement. So it's always neat when you see it on television about teacher versus student, master versus apprentice kind of thing in the sports world. Everybody eventually, gets off of the original coach and, the coaching tree per se. Brant Sherwood would probably say part of Jerome Bouchard's coaching tree. Learned a lot from him. So that he was definitely locked in. I saw him Friday night after the 11-4 victory, and it looked like the team hadn't even stepped off the ice yet after the game, stepped on the ice. It's still laser focused, throw some daggers there. And I was like, you know what? Maybe just not the night to go up to him and say something, but bounce back Friday. And then happy as could be Saturday night after the game. I
stayed away from him all week. I was a little nervous, I didn't want to throw him off his focus, but you can tell anytime, like you said, a teacher versus student, all that stuff, it always means a little more. And I think even with the little kind of chirping in Brant's ear from last year about Binghamton never playing Columbus, he wanted to prove that his team is far and away one of the top dogs, if not the top dog in this league, and I think the guys did it this weekend.
Yeah, so the Black Bears statistically have the highest rated offense in the FPHL. They lead the category in terms of skaters in every offensive category except points per game, and the person who leads in points per game has only played 15 games this season, and now playing in a different league. So there's a little bit of an asterisk right there with that. Because of a smaller sample size, your points per game number is going to be a lot higher. So Black Bears do see the return of Tyson Kirkby coming back into the lineup this past weekend. Did play a factor. He played with tonight's guest, Austin Thompson, and Don Oliveri on the top line once again. So it was a big plus seeing Kirkby back in the black and green. And even though didn't score this weekend, had plenty of assists and continuing his contributing ways on offense.
Yeah, when you play with guys like Don Oliveri and Austin Thompson, you're going to get assists just because those guys have some natural scoring touch, and Tyson does too, so able to create for himself and others. But big shout-out to Jesse Anderson, Dakota Bond, and Gavin Yates, the alternate captains, picking it up down in Mississippi while Tyson was up in Reading. The team looked great, and they just looked real disciplined, and they look like they know that they have leaders and who they are and who to listen to, and really how to work together and be a dominant force.
Speaking of Reading, the Black Bears have had a couple of players play in the ECHL, 3 this season, and then this one, the fourth being a technicality. So Tyson Kirkby playing with Adirondack and Reading, claimed on waivers by the Railers, the Islanders AA team. CJ Stubbs, Don Oliveri playing a game in Reading this year, and then former Black Bear Commissioner's Cup champion Matt Tuboy-Lar playing with Troy Rivieres this season as well for the Lions. So 4 Black Bears having ties to the organization, playing in AA hockey, and really just goes to show you the way that the systems are playing right now for the Black Bears, put in by Coach Sherwood, really does prepare the guys to play at the next level whenever that day might be.
Yeah, and Coach Sherwood played a few games up in the ECHL, and some of these other guys have too, Don Oliveri, CJ Stubbs. So they know what it takes to get to that level, and they can instill it in some of the young guys. And you go back to Matt Tuboy-Lard, and good for him. We saw it every day. He worked really hard to get where he is, and he deserves every minute of that ECHL trip, and I'm sure they love him up there with the Troy Riviere Lions. He's a phenomenal player on and off the ice, and a guy who knows how to win and what it takes to do that.
So Black Bears will only have one game this upcoming weekend. It'll be at 7 p.m. Originally, this was scheduled to be a road game, but just to make sure everybody hears me, it is a home game this Saturday, 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so a lot of your favorite local mascots will be in attendance with Bingo the Black Bear. And Bingo is going to be dropping the ceremonial puck right before we actually start the game. So big opportunity to bring the whole family. The mascots will be walking around the concourse. So make sure to bring the kids out. Get your pictures taken with all the mascots here at the next Black Bears home game. Again, 7 p.m. Tickets are available online through Ticketmaster or by calling the Black Bears office at 607-722-7367. Looking at the opponent, really tale of 2 seasons going on right now for the Venom. It's calling a spade right now. Venom have not had the best of luck this season with the circumstances that they have gone through off the ice, but a lot of those guys have stuck around for quite a while. Former Black Bear Brett Parker, the captain of the team right now, and dragging the team into the fight. Last Sunday, their previous game came up just a little bit short against Danbury, 5-4. They played Danbury in a 3 games and 3 set, 2 in the Danbury Ice Arena, 1 in the McCann Ice Arena. Didn't go their way, struggling record-wise, but Black Bears can't overlook the opponent even though they only have 1 game this weekend, and starts a 3-game set with the Venom as well, because the Venom are going to be back in town the following Friday and Saturday for Valentine's Day weekend.
And look, Brooks, you hit the nail on the head. It's been a tough year for them, both on and off the ice. Some stuff they can't control, some stuff they can control, but they have some good players on their roster. Love him or hate him, Dustin Jesso is a good player. Amontes Norica was there for a while. He's now with Pensacola playing with Blake Tosto. But they have guys like Brett Parker. They have Austin Pickford, Mark Pozar, guys who have played in this league for a while, and a lot of games in hand. They could sneak into the playoffs if they go on a run here. It would take some time, and they would need to really bring it together and get some strong goaltending, which I think has kind of bewildered them the entire season. I think that's been mainly the problem, is the back end. But watch out for those Venom, because they're not done yet. And the Black Bears need to know that and make sure they don't catch themselves sleeping thinking it's going to be an easy game.
So, as we said, this starts the first of 3 games in a row against the Venom. Cole mentioned Dustin Jesso by name. He's going to be suspended this upcoming Saturday and next Friday on Valentine's Day as well. So, no Jesso for the first 2. He will be available for the 3rd on the 16th. Also worth noting, coming up for the Black Bears, first ever Parents Weekend next weekend, February 14th and 15th. So, a lot of the Black Bears parents and extended family members are going to be coming into town, gonna enjoy morning skate or watching, and also having a film session with Coach Sherwood. So that's gonna be great. They're gonna have a pregame meal at the arena ahead of time, then obviously go down and watch warm-ups and enjoy the weekend. Just meeting some other parents throughout the organization. So really neat opportunity. This was an idea that Coach Sherwood actually thought of. They used to do it in Roanoke every year. They bring them in for a home game, and just an opportunity for parents to meet other people, share some stories, everything like that, talk about how bad their son was as a child, all that kind of stuff.
None of these guys, right? None of these guys.
No, probably not.
Maybe Cam Clark.
Maybe. So, big opportunity there for the guys to just also see their families, because a lot of these guys, no stranger, if you pay attention to the roster, not a lot of them are from the New York or upstate Pennsylvania area. A lot of guys are from all over. You just mentioned Clark. Clark is actually from Daytona Beach, Florida.
A lot of guys from Michigan, too.
Yep. People from Massachusetts. You got people way away, Long Island area. So really nice that we're going to have a lot of family members coming up for the Black Bears next weekend as well. Speaking of next time, friendly reminder that the next time we are back here at Tully's will be Tuesday, February 18th. It'll be at 6 p.m., and it'll be our second air hockey tournament of the season. So we're going to announce how we're going to do the sign-ups again. It'll be on social media next week as we start the sign-up process. That way we can have everything squared away by the time we get here next Tuesday. But Tuesday, February 18th, 6 p.m., second ever Black Bears air hockey tournament right here at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway. I believe Zach Sirota is the defending players champion.
You want to remind the people.
Yep, and then Paul Walker is the defending fan champion as well. So we'll see if those two put their title defense to good use and get back out there. So, friendly reminder.
A lot of pressure on Zach Sirota to repeat, right?
Yeah, a lot. And Zach Sirota coming off a great weekend in Mississippi. Had a couple of points this weekend. Did have a goal disallowed. That the Black Bears thought that they were going to be able to get to 12, but unfortunately did not go their way. But that's also another guy who's been coming into his own here over the last month.
Yeah, I'm glad we highlighted that. Zach Sirota, every game, he just looks more and more confident, and he gets better and better. He knows what to do. He puts himself in spots to contribute to the team, not necessarily with scoring, but there's times when he puts himself to get a good assist. There's times when he puts himself to take the eyes away from a defender. There's times when he takes passes away and gets rushes going the other end. Zach Sirota is a very smart hockey player, and he knows where he needs to be to generate for his team.
So Black Bears has been generating no shortage of goals this season. They average 4.9 goals per game, just barely under 5 goals per game. They have the highest goal differential in the league. They are plus 82 in the goal differential column, so big opportunity. And also they have statistically the best goaltender tandem as well. There are some teams that have both goalies have shutouts, but no team has just two goalies that have the same amount of wins as Connor and Nolan. So Connor with 19 wins, and Nolan picked up his 12th win of the season with the Friday night victory. So Black Bears leading the way in a lot of categories as well. Dan Stone leads the league in plus minus, and he has 2 Black Bears right underneath him in second and third place. Austin Thompson, we're going to hear from him again later in the show, and Dakota Bond are tied for the league lead in shorthanded goals as well. Tyson Kirkby leads all skaters in terms of goals, points, and assists. So best offensive player in the league right now.
That's even with some time in Reading too. So
that's true. Missed 2 weeks.
And I'm glad, we were talking about the goal differential. I'm glad you touched on the goaltenders because, like I said, they go a little unsung when you think of scoring. But Connor McAnanima having another stellar season. Nolan Egbert has had a phenomenal one as well. The biggest 1-2 punch in the league, if you ask me. The two of them, any given night, are scary to face, and it gives Coach Sherwood one of the best and most difficult decisions in the league as to who to start each and every night.
Black Bears will look to continue the offensive ways. They are 5-0 against the Venom this season. They'll try to go 6-0 against the Hockey Club Venom here again on Saturday. What's the key for the Black Bears to not overlook this opponent? It's also just a one-off weekend for them. The team's having a little bit of time away from the ice this week. Some guys have been banged up recently. Obviously, this time of the year, you're going to see a lot less practices. You're going to see a lot more rehab and stretching for mobility going on within hockey levels across the board from the NHL all the way down. But Binghamton really can't lose sight of, you don't want to say keeping the streak alive, because in the be-all, that really doesn't matter, but taking it one game at a time here the rest of the way, just trying to win one game at a time. You can't win 2 games in one night.
Yeah, you just got to keep looking forward, keep making sure the puck's going north, and keep making sure you're making smart plays. They don't have to be the flashiest or the greatest looking or highlight, really just have to be the right plays at the right time, find the right guys in the right positions, and make sure you just play a smart, clean hockey game, and don't give Hudson Valley even an inch, because if you give them an inch, anyone in this league, they'll take a mile on you.
Yep, sometimes people forget the other team are professionals too. They get paid to play the game. That's what a lot of people love to say in the NFL or in the NHL when a team loses to a team that has no business beating one another. I know my Hurricanes have run into a lot of trouble with playing the teams at the bottom of the league, and it just baffles me sometimes that they don't take care of business with the way the rosters are lined up against each other.
It takes some time to gel. Some new guys coming in. You'll get there eventually, right? I mean, Mikko Rantanen's a big guy to gel around. That's a huge piece.
I'm not worried about that. He's a point per game since he's coming over to Carolina. Actually, I'm going to test your knowledge. One thing I try to do with Brant Sherwood when he's on the show here. Don't have a high knowledge. Okay. We normally talk about the Hurricanes and the Sabres, so give me the rundown on what's going on with the Buffalo Sabres right now.
Oh, the Sabres?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me about the Islanders. I got scared.
No, I'm going to ask you because you're sitting in Brant's chair.
Well, it's another one of those typical Sabre seasons, right? They start off rough, and then all of a sudden, when they're seemingly out of it, then they start to have guys turn it on. I think Tage Thompson's up to 25 goals already. They have the pieces there. I mean, between Thompson, Devin Levy, Peyton Krebs, who never really panned out to what he was supposed to be after coming over with Alex Tuck, Jack Quinn. There should be some pieces there, and I just don't know why it hasn't turned out better than it has, but, anytime Lindy Ruff's in charge, I get a little nervous after what happened with the Devils.
Okay, well, funny enough, I was talking with assistant equipment manager John Brown earlier today. I was passing through the locker room asking him some questions, and saw Scott Romakers, a huge Buffalo guy, was on the treadmill, and he was listening to a Sabres podcast, and I think I walked in at the wrong time because it was just laying into Kevin Adams and how some fans perceive how Kevin Adams is doing as the GM of that team. Kevin Adams, Stanley Cup champion with the Hurricanes, so I don't talk badly about him, but it was just the way that, one, the podcast was absolutely blasting, so there's no way you're escaping the conversation of what's going on. And
no headphones?
No headphones.
No headphones.
Just right out of the speaker, but seemed locked in. And, getting his Sabres talk in. So just funny little tidbit.
You know what, Brooks, no matter what GM does this week, no one's going to get blown out of the water like the guy in Dallas with Luka Doncic. So I think they can do whatever they want and be fine.
I can't say I know too much about the NBA to really continue on that topic, but apparently it was another blockbuster trade. So, Cole, before we let you go and we bring on Austin, what are some other things you're looking forward to here as there's 20 games left to go in the Black Bears regular season?
Well, I love any time it starts to get warm around. We still get to watch some hockey, showing up to the arena without these giant sweatshirts on and stuff. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to some play against some Empire Division teams. I'm looking forward to the homestand, Brooks. I was saying to you, as much as we love to check out these other arenas, it's nothing like staying at home and getting to come to our office and work with our coworkers like Bobby Gross, Kelsey Lane, and Trevor Potenziano. So I'm looking forward to just being home and enjoying the time in the Visions Veterans Memorial Arena, and especially enjoying getting to see our best graphic designer, EJ. And we're just going to, just enjoy some good hockey.
Good recovery right there. I was going to tell
he wasn't
EJ,
happy.
Yep. I was going to tell EJ go ahead and press publish on that trade graphic that he made a little bit while ago. But thank you, Cole, for coming on here and filling
Anytime,
in for
Brooks.
Brant Sherwood. So glad we could have you on. We're going to take a quick time out here at Tully's. When we come back, we're going to be on Black Bears forward Austin Thompson, pick his brain a little bit, get to know maybe some things that not the general fan might not know about Austin. So find out what we're going to talk about when we come back after this quick timeout.
The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at binghamtonblackbears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at binghamtonblackbears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Welcome back in, everybody. Brooks Hill now joined by Black Bears forward, number 25, third-year player for the Black Bears as well, Austin Thompson. Austin, thank you for being on the show, and congratulations on being the first three-time guest on the Tully's Good Times with Coach show.
What an honor to be back here for the third time.
It is, and we're glad that you could come on this year because last year when we talked to you, you had come out and said that, hey, like you're fighting a little bit of confidence. Your point production wasn't where you thought it would be. And then this year, you were the active leader for the Black Bears in terms of points while Tyson Kirkby was away on loan in the ECHL. And now I believe, if I have my numbers correct, 22 goals and 22 assists right down the middle on both sides. So shooting the puck and distributing it as well. So 44 points so far this season in 36 games is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it always could be better, and there's always room for improvement, but can't complain.
Oh, that's good. So what have you noticed, this year compared to last year about the Black Bears? That's typically what I've asked a bunch of the, returners from the championship team. A lot of people like to draw comparisons to last year's team. Binghamton's on a little bit of a better pace than what they were with 20 games left to go in the regular season last year. Obviously, you guys top the league with 30 wins and only five combined losses, or 31 wins now, 4 in regulation and then 1 in overtime. And it was an 8-round shootout all the way to the beginning of the season. So what are you noticing, some similarities and maybe some differences as well?
Yeah, last year we had Logar, who was the king rat, as we called him.
Oh, my.
And then, obviously, with new guys coming in, it's big shoes to fill, and most of our new guys are kind of taking that on as a collective. I mean, Sirota is a prime example. Mott, those guys are kind of just getting under guys' skins and kind of being little pests, which is what we need and helps us in the long run. And then just the confidence from guys from last year to this year. I mean, we come off a championship, and guys know what it takes to win it again, and we're kind of just showing the new guys how to do it and the steps it takes to get there.
Do you think that a lot of the team's success is due to the part of the fact there's so many returners from last year's roster?
Yeah, that definitely helps. Obviously, with a low turnover rate, you're bringing back the guys that won it. The main core is back that won it last year, and we're kind of just showing them again what it takes and what we did to get there, and kind of game by game, so we're not stressing everyone out.
Well, we asked our fans on social media to write in some questions for Austin, and here's the first one, because this one is a little bit more pre-game related, but people want to know, what are your game day superstitions or routines that you have to do every single game? I think I know a couple of them, but I want to see if I'm right. So typical game day at home.
Let's see what you got then.
Okay, well, I know that you go once you get to the rink. I don't know what you do before you get to the rink for game time. If after morning skate, you put on the same sweatshirt. It looks to be the same pair of shorts, and it's the black and gold headphones. And you go stand by the door that the team comes out of. Some guys are out there on the ice shooting in flip-flops or slides. And it looks like you're just kind of standing there watching them. And then you're the doorman. You're just standing there right in the middle. Nobody gets past or through for about 5 or so minutes. And then you walk back and you do some stretching. That's the extent that I know. I don't know anything else that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Obviously, it was a Davenport sweater. And then shout out to our upstairs, EJ and Bobby Gross hooked me up with a nice Binghamton green one. So it's not, I don't look like Christmas season anymore with the red and green shoes. But I don't know, it's just wake up, go to the rink, go to the morning skate, get home, have my breakfast, watch whatever's on Netflix, could be anything, and then have lunch, get a 2-hour nap in, go to the rink, and then put on my sweater, my shorts, my shoes, tape my sticks, hang out a bit, and then I used to stand out there for a while before the game, but now I kind of shortened it down to 5 minutes to 6 minutes, and then just go get ready for the game.
Okay, so I feel pretty proud of myself that I knew part of the Austin Thompson game day routine. 2 follow-up questions from what you just mentioned. Number 1, do you retape your sticks every single game?
Oh, yeah. I retape the knob every game, and then I retape the blade after every period.
Okay, follow-up question number 2. Thank you for that. What are you watching on Netflix right now?
It was The Recruit and The Night Agent, I believe.
I need to start both. I need to
finished
restart both of those.
and now just kind of browsing through, trying to find something new to watch.
Okay, so which one is better? I've seen season 1 of both shows, and if you haven't, highly recommend you see them both on Netflix. Which one should I watch first? The Recruit season 2 or Night Agent season 2?
Ooh, I don't know. They're both good.
Okay.
I went with Night Agent first and then The Recruit.
Okay.
So I think that's
All right.
a pretty good one.
So that's a good one. So that's a little peek behind the curtain in Austin Thompson's game day routine. Let's see here. I got another one. How come, and this person is very observant, that means they also get to the games early because they notice it too. How come you're always the last person off the ice for the Black Bears, and no matter how early everybody else gets off, Austin stands there until there's about 3 seconds left and then steps off? So what goes on into that?
I don't know. Usually my warm-up is 2 minutes. I start the stretch, and then minute, do a little lap, and then start flicking pucks in the net. And that usually winds down to 20 seconds. I'm just waiting for guys to get off. Usually all it varies. Pushing it a couple times with 8 seconds or 6 seconds left on the clock, but I think I'd rather just be out there than sitting in the room just waiting.
And I believe you haven't gotten penalty. You haven't been caught out there after the horn goes, right?
No, I'll just look at the clock and know when to get off.
Okay. All right. So there you
I
go.
have caught a couple guys on the other team, though, slacking, and made sure we got power plays for it.
Yeah. You point them out, right, as soon as it happens?
Right away.
Oh, yeah. So that's happened actually a couple of times for the Black Bears in their favor this year, where opposing teams have been still on the ice during warm-ups. Obviously, Austin lets the linesman know while he has both feet off the ice that, hey, there are still people out there with skates on as well. So, all right, so a couple of good fan questions early in this one about pregame routine and whatnot. This next one, what is your main drive to, still be playing hockey? That's also a fan question.
Honestly, just the love of the game still. And as for the game aspect, why I try what I do is obviously I got family back home watching me, parents, grandparents, aunt, and then I have my girlfriend and her family with the little nephew. And that kid is just glued to the TV as soon as he sees bingo and hears announcers. He's running around the kitchen telling her parents and her grandparents that I'm on the TV and you better get to the living room to start watching it. Then obviously the fans here, you see Thompson jerseys, and even the ones that don't wear Thompson jerseys, they pay to watch us play, and I just want to give them a good showing so that's not just a waste of money.
Well, that's good. You mentioned your friends and family. Thompson Fan Club keeps growing and growing. I feel like every time we go to Michigan, they keep multiplying.
Yeah,
and
there's always one or two.
There's more ticket requests coming from Austin Thompson. So let's see here. We played twice in Motor City, played twice in Port Huron. Do they ever get to come to town? See you play inside the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena?
The family, yes, they have came. Obviously, mom and dad have came. My grandma and aunt have came up to these games, and then girlfriend, her sisters, her mom, of course, the nephew. But so far, the buddies haven't been able to make the trip up to Binghamton because of their hockey seasons going on. So that's why Michigan is best, and why you see a little Army coming in.
Okay, so little birdie told me through the grapevine that you're a big video gamer. So I just wanted to ask you, what kind of video games do you like to play? I like playing video games and the little free time I have, but for you, pro hockey player, what are you playing on the sticks?
I've done the Call of Duty, but I know my buddies know the other games I play. I know Weeps has a couple questions about League of Legends, And then I got a couple friends from Oklahoma that I play World of Warcraft with.
Okay. So
Some real nerdy stuff. But
yeah.
that's
So do you play on console? I know World of Warcraft and League of Legends
PC
is on
gamer.
PC.
All
PC gamer.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
do you have your gaming PC here in Binghamton?
It's gaming and work PC, but yes, it's here.
Gaming and work PC. Okay. There you go. All right. Way to kill two birds with one stone there. Out of all the games you just mentioned, which one's your favorite?
I've definitely put a lot of hours into the World of Warcraft game.
Okay. Now, that's an old game. I remember it back when I was in, elementary, middle school. Anytime you go to Target, Walmart, big box store like that, you always go through the video game section, even though you know you're not going to get one, and you browse and you look at the games that have cool covers, things like that. No shortage of World of Warcraft games because they always have expansions, new downloads, DLC, things like that. How long have you been playing that game in particular? A laugh before you answer. That's going to be a good one then.
I want to say 14 years on and off, not consecutively, obviously, but it's just one of those comfort games where I'll play it for a bit, stop playing, and then a new expansion comes out, and I'll just get back on it for a couple months, then stop playing, and kind of just repeat the cycle.
Okay. So your former teammate, Colin Fitzgerald, told me I needed to ask you about your Pokemon Go history. Can you elaborate on that? Do you still play Pokemon Go?
Still active in it with
Okay.
all the road trips we do. It's always nice to take over a gym or catch a couple guys on the road. But our Pokemon Go for the Black Bears has taken a hit since Fitzy has left us. And now I'm trying to revive it back with Dan Stone and Dakota Bond. So I
Okay.
know they were on it last year. Even Dan Weaver's starting to go with it, but small, but we're trying.
All right. Do you play the new Pokemon game that has like the the packs and the card game?
Yeah,
Or-
the TCG one I'm on
Yes.
every day, just opening up 2 packs, but nothing, no PvP or whatever against other people.
Okay. All right. We have a couple people in the office who are addicted to that game.
Oh, I know. We talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. So all good. So you're staying up till 1 a.m. to open up those new packs every night?
No. It's just whenever I'm bored after practice, open up two packs and then call it a day to the next day.
Okay. So you're not operating in the Bobby Gross hours of the night?
No Bobby Gross hours.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense. So phone gamer, PC gamer, old school, new school stuff. That's really exciting. What is it about video games that excites you?
I think it's just hanging out with friends that aren't nearby. Like I said, I got buddies in Oklahoma that I play video games with that I haven't seen in a couple years, and even met some that I haven't even seen before, but are buddies with my other buddies. So it's just nice to stay connected with them. And then obviously with my friends back at Davenport, I see them maybe once or twice a year at Michigan for those games, and then play games with them too, and you're talking and just kind of catching up with what's been going on in their life.
Well, that's really awesome. Transitioning back now to the Black Bears season, obviously you guys were able to take care of business this past weekend against the Columbus River Dragons. We talked about how focused and locked in Coach Sherwood was, but I want to kind of hear it from a player's perspective what this past week of practice really looked like leading up to the games on Friday and Saturday.
He wasn't as lenient as normal, but that's to be expected, especially with the big bad River Dragons from the south that thought they were top dogs in the league. And obviously we want to win a championship, and that's a good measuring stick to do it. So we just been kind of going hard at practice and making sure we're stopping and doing all the right things and the small things to make sure that come weekend time against these guys, we're ready to go. And we were.
Yeah, obviously you guys did a really great job. You outscored the opposition 16-5 this past weekend. One thing I continue to notice, and I try to point it out as much as I can during the night, Black Bears did get a lot of power plays this weekend. And, standing center stage, middle of the ice, right in front of the crease is Austin Thompson continuing to, take a beating out in front of the cages. Can't imagine that it feels good.
Definitely does not feel good.
No. I would ask, but I think I already know the answer. Not too much protective padding on the backside to keep those hits and cross checks from non-bruising, right?
Yeah, I don't have the kidney pads like Dan Stone has every game, but you try to either make yourself smaller or try to absorb the check better and what your padding is. So more shoulder pads and pants instead of just your bare back, I guess. But no, it definitely hurts to take a beating. And like I said, the other 2 times I've been on this show, that if you want to score goals, you got to get to the net, and it's the price you pay.
Well, you scored no shortage of goals this year, 22, and this point well above last year's place. I even just completely forgot what you finished with last year. I don't know if you remember off the top of your head.
27 and 29.
Okay, 27 and 29.
Because the
so you're
first
on a
year
really
was
good pace.
29 and 27. That's why.
Okay, so same amount of points. So they're on pace to surpass that. So we're going to wish you luck on the rest of the way here through the Black Bears. 20 games left to go in the regular season. Technically, it's not official yet, but I think everyone can read the writing on the wall if they choose to open their eyes, that the Black Bears are going to go back to the playoffs, and then, they got a little bit more work to do before they can repeat as division champions to get the 1 seed, at least on one side of the bracket.
Of course.
What is it now with you guys, not necessarily saying that you don't have a whole lot to play for in the next couple of games, because obviously you play for the trophy at the end of the season, not the regular season, but you want to make sure that you're playing the right way going into the playoffs, and 20 games left to go here in this final push.
Well, we still have 2 more tests coming up. I think in March we play the Thunderbirds, and obviously in April we go down to Athens, which is their 1 and 2 teams in the South. So, we got those to look forward to right before playoffs, and it's another test to gauge where we are in the league. And just because we laid a whooping on Columbus doesn't mean that we're going to do it to Athens and Carolina. So it's something we strive to do, and from now until that time is prepare for them.
Well said again. So the game against the Carolina Thunderbirds will be on March 15th. That is a Saturday. It'll be at 7 p.m. inside the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. If you want to see a repeat of last year's Commissioner Cup final, Black Bears were able to sweep the Thunderbirds after splitting with Carolina during the regular season. So always going to be excited to see the repeat of last year's final. And then for the first time, the Black Bears will take on the Athens Rock Lobsters on a very rare and only time this season, a Wednesday-Thursday back-to-back set. That'll be down at the Atkins Ford Arena down in Athens, Georgia. So we won't see the Rock Lobsters at home this year. Unfortunately, at least during the regular season, the only time the 2 teams will meet will be the second to last week of the season down in the Peach State in Georgia. So as Austin said, big 2 tests with Continental Division teams as well. They also have 3 games against the Blue Ridge Bobcats to round off their cross-division matchups this year. That'll be 3 games and 3 nights to kick off the month of March. So in total, they still have 6 games to take on inter-division play in the FPHL regular season. Besides looking at the Continental Division and the 3 games that you mentioned off the top of your head, what are some other things that you guys are looking to build on in continuing to strive for through 56 games?
Again, just the good habits, the small things that it takes to win championships. And I think this past week of practice kind of showed the guys what it takes to kind of win. Because before we might have been a little bit more loose with, you lose a puck, you just pick up a new one. Or guys just turning away instead of stopping at the net. And I think with this past couple practices, we cut that out and hopefully carry that over for this week and the weeks to come. And our side isn't easy. Obviously, going to Watertown, going to Danbury, those teams are great at their rink. Everyone loves to beat us. So it's just every game's a playoff game for us.
Do you think that this past week of practice was eye-opening for you guys? I know it's hard to say. Coming into the weekend, a team with 29 wins, now with 31, needed a little bit of a wake-up call, but could you feel that something was changing once we got to this previous week?
I wouldn't say, for most guys, I wouldn't say it's eye-opening, but obviously for the newer guys or some of the college guys that came in last year, it might have been for them, but we all knew what was at stake this weekend. Obviously, Schurzy coaching there and having connections to that organization, it meant a lot to him for us to beat him this weekend. And then honestly, what fans have been saying and what the league's been saying about us, just not giving us our credit when it's due. And sometimes you just got to show them that they're wrong and they need to open their eyes.
Yeah, sometimes it's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. And that's what the Black Bears were able to do this past weekend as they defeated the Columbus River Dragons. They take on the Hockey Club Venom this Saturday, February 8th at 7 p.m. inside the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Remember, if you're a season ticket holder, you get a free ticket to this game because technically this will be the 29th home game of the season for the Black Bears. This was added on after the Venom changed ownership and became a home game. So season ticket holders get free tickets to this Saturday's game. They just have to claim their ticket by going to the Black Bears third floor office between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. the rest of the week. Austin, anything you want to say to any of the fans out there before we let you go? I know you got to go enjoy your food. All your teammates are already eating, so I'm going to let you get back to that while I wrap up the show. But anything else you wanted to say?
Nah, just that they're awesome and just keep being loud for us for home games. It makes a world of difference.
All right, that is the voice of Black Bears forward, Austin Thompson, 22 goals and 22 assists. Even right down the middle, he's got 44 points this year just through 36 games as the Black Bears are in first place overall in the league and in the Empire Division. Take a quick timeout, come back, wrap up the show, and get you ready for an exciting division matchup this weekend against the Venom. We're right back after this.
The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. The Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube. Black Bears return home on Saturday for the only home game of the weekend as they take on the Hockey Club Venom at 7 p.m. It's Mascot Mania, so plenty of fun for the entire family. Make sure to come out and get your tickets ahead of time at binghamtonblackbears.com. Experience the new way to watch your Black Bears play all season long, at home and on the road, free on YouTube.
Big thanks to tonight here at the Tully's Good Times with Coach show, and also big thanks to Austin Thompson for being the first three-time guest. He's appeared every year that we've had the Tully show, so big thanks to Austin for doing that for us as well. Black Bears will take on the Hockey Club Venom for the first of 3 straight. This will begin Saturday. Again, no game on Friday this week. Just Saturday night inside the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Season ticket holders get free tickets to the game. They just have to go to the third floor offices between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to claim their ticket. The office will be open the rest of the week, Wednesday through a Friday. Individual tickets are on sale online through Ticketmaster, or go to binghamtonblackbears.com/tickets and click on the single game tickets link on the website. You can always give us a call at 607-722-7367, and one of our ticket reps or Cole will be happy to talk to you on the phone and get you squared away. You like that one? Yeah. Okay. So, big thanks to everybody, Josh Williams and Luca producing tonight's live stream, EJ Worth making sure everything's running well on YouTube and helping us out on social media. Got the big game coming up this upcoming Sunday, and hopefully EJ will still be talking to us next week after hopefully a very victorious Philadelphia celebration. I know most people here in this area would rather pull for the Eagles than pull for the Chiefs. So good luck to his birds. Also a lot of other Philly guys within the Black Bears organization. Coach Sherwood and Don Oliveri, big Eagles guys as well. So hopefully they're happy come Monday morning, and everybody's got a smile on their faces. Enjoy the big game, and we hope to see you out on Saturday night at the Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. Once again, Black Bears take on the Venom at 7 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you again on February 18th at 6 p.m. for the second ever Black Bears Air Hockey Tournament right here at Tully's. Details to be followed on social media. Make sure you're following the Black Bears on all platforms. Thank you, and have a good one.